Hi everyone! Welcome to Leandra the TBR0 Tuesday Sprints. I feel like I'm in a very goofy mood today, probably because I was recording earlier, so I was about to give my intro spiel, and I was like, no, people don't need to know who I am and what's going on. Let me know what you're up to in the comments. These are obviously Bucket List-athon sprints, so in honor of Danny Dabbles. And I don't think I updated the description. So that's my bad. I'll make sure to do that so that you can see the announcement video if you're interested, because we're really just getting started. It started mid-November. It's going until mid-December. So you've got time. But also, if you just are here for the community and you don't want to join a readathon, that's fine. You can hang out with us. I do see that we have quite a few people here already. I see Kat is here. We've got Tara. Also Tracy. Hello, Tracy. VH is here. Lovely to see you. Adventures. Hello. How are you? Rainy. Oh my gosh. Hello. I was just talking to you. Obviously not on this platform, but on a different one. So good to see you in another version. Hello, Abs. I hope you're doing well as well. We've got Anne here. Yeah, this is great. Also, we've got Julie. Julie was hosting Bucket List-athon sprints yesterday, actually, and I was in her comments. So we've switched positions. Also, we've got Moonshadow. Hello. Or do you want to go by Null? Because I can also do that. Let me know how you would prefer that I, address you. Yelena's here too. We've got Tuesday. Tuesday's reading, oh my gosh, okay. To Never Whistle at Night. That sounds creepy. That sounds very creepy. Also, Rainy, 25% into The Songbird of Heart and Stone. Eating lunch. Amazing. I hope that you're enjoying it. I hope you're having a really good time. Trying to actually read, and aren't we all? Listen, ended up working on other projects instead. So I'm aiming for like 3 chapters of A Whole New World. We can hold you to it. You know what? After the first sprint, I'm going to check in on you and I'm going to be like, did you at least, read a chapter? Maybe you can do a chapter per sprint to feel accomplished by the end. Hello, Anook. How are you? I feel like it's been a little while since I've seen you. Ooh, 25% into Phantasma. Really loving it so far. Every single person who has been reading this book that I've seen has adored it. On Saturday, actually, Rainy and Katie were doing because it was book club sprints too, right? I'm pretty sure it was for your book club. They read it all day, finished it in one day. Is that something we advise people to do? It depends. It depends. But I hope you're continuing to love it for the next 75%. Tracy is 14% into Entropy by Orlando Sanchez from the Montague and Strong detective novels. I love seeing people reading detective fiction, reading mysteries as you can see, I'm also someone who does that. We'll also do some reading in ADHD for smart ass women. Woohoo! We love it. What a great title. And good job protecting the word, because you know that sometimes depending on how you phrase something, YouTube will not show it. They're like, nope, that's not. And you're like, it's a title. It's a title. I promise you it's not harmful. Currently working, but you all are great company. We're happy to give you company as you work. I hope it ends up being a smooth work day. These sprints are very necessary. Drowning in buddy reads. Oh my gosh, same. I was thinking, actually, I'm not drowning in buddy reads at the moment, but I've realized I've booked myself for already 3 buddy reads in January. What am I doing? Ay. Tonight I'll be focusing on Do You Dream of Terra 2? Ooh, by Temi. Oh, I've never heard of that, but I'm going to star that cat because I really like the title. Loving this book, thank God. I know your most anticipated of the year. I was like, I hope that you're having a good time with it, because it's the most nerve-wracking when you have like such high stakes as far as your emotional investment goes. Hello, Jamie. Hoping you're having a good time. I am. I'm honestly having a really good Tuesday. It feels weird. It feels a bit off because I've been off with my other job just because I haven't been feeling super well. And so I've been taking a few shifts off. So I don't feel like it's a Tuesday. It's very odd for me, but I'm having a good day and I'm feeling better, which is great. May read today, doing a lot of productivity right now. That's kind of my goal as well. Speaking of, I plan on reading this for the first sprint. I do have my physical copy as well. Reading this for the first sprint, then I'm going to do some admin and editing in the second. And then depending on how far I get, I'll come back to this book. That's kind of the goal that I have for myself. Still on your first book for the readathon? Me too, V. You and me. And I'm only 4 chapters in, by the way. I have been reading. I just haven't been reading my TBR for the readathon. But yeah, anywho, The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. Oh, by Stephen King. What? Why? I've never heard of this. I might finish in a couple of days. I've literally never heard of that book. That's very crazy because obviously he's like prolific at this point, and his titles are very well known. So I don't know why I didn't know that was a book. Hello, Sammy. I hope you're having a great day. That your entry into the afternoon goes smoothly. Excited for you, Rainy. Me too. Reading The Answer is No by Frederick Bachman. Speaking of well-known authors, this is one of them. Hello, Bethany. Joining from home office. Sounds good. Working through some project task items. I know. It does always feel good to be able to check that off your to-do list, though. So I hope you have like an ongoing list that you can just go done. No preference. I'm reading Happy Medium. Oh, okay. So I might call you Moon Shadow. I like the idea of calling you Moon Shadow, even though Null probably is also good as well. So you're reading Happy Medium by Sarah Adler. Loving the Haunted Goat Farm. That is so fun. And I'm assuming it's like cozy paranormal, because that sounds really kind of nice, especially after the spooky season. Good morning, Jojo. Have you had your coffee yet this morning? Going to start a new book. Off to the races. Super excited. I love that feeling when you're like, today's the day. I'm going to start a new book. And I'm still kind of feeling that with Queen of Poisons because I've only just started it. I'm literally only 4 chapters in. The murder has just happened. We're just establishing that an investigation even needs to begin. Hoping to finish your book. Ooh, very nice. I've been taking forever to read it. Not the book's fault, but mine. Yeah. And it's just sometimes I think we also just expect to finish books quickly. And then we're like, oh, it's taking me forever. And you're like, oh, okay, because you're not liking it. And you're just thinking, well, no, it's life. I get busy, and maybe you're allowing yourself to get distracted. You know that you should have finished the book by now, but for some reason you're just not picking it up. It's nice when you realize it's almost like you've reached nirvana. You've become a self-aware reader. It's not the book's fault that you haven't finished it yet. Reading That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. Also a great song. Throwback. Hello, Louise. Gonna listen to an audiobook while cleaning so I can decorate for Christmas tomorrow. Hopefully, ooh, you're one of those who's decorating quite early. Yeah, I have pulled out some decorations, but I haven't put anything up yet. As you can see, I'm still kind of living my fall lifestyle. I have a kind of centerpiece that I can put behind me for my coffee table, but that means I'm gonna have to do something with my lavender. If you guys can look. And I also have like this dried bouquet of flowers. So before I obviously replace them, I've got to figure out where to put them so that they are safe. and so when, the winter season's over, I can just put them back because I do really like that centerpiece. Folding laundry, reading your audiobook. Very nice. I also have an audiobook that I've been going on with, The Hunter by Tana French. I am still broken up that was not in the Goodreads Choice Awards. I'm so mad, and mainly just because I wanted to read it for that purpose, but I'm reading it anyway. Oh my gosh, you're down to 4.5 hours of The Way of Kings. And oh my gosh, you're like a skip and a throw. Is that what that is? I think that's that phrase. Away from finishing that book. The finish line is in sight. Especially with that size of a book. Hello, Brecht. How are you? It's been a while. I know it has been a while just since I've even seen you. Reading a lot of books. So, you'll name them as you go. Please do. Yeah, every time you end up like picking up a different book during the sprint, just let us know what it is. Hoping to watch Danny's new video. Speaking of, Yelena, thank you so much. This was not planned. This comment was not planned, friends, but it's a great segue into the fact that we're going to find out who the wild card is in Battle of the Booktubers Season 1 Championship Round 2025. That's going to be announced in Danny's video today. So I'm very, very excited for it. I can't wait to watch. So I'm obviously going to get distracted in the first sprint and watch it because she usually ends up posting at like 2 p.m. my time. So I think because you're hoping to watch it, I'll have to double check if it ended up getting posted. It might be a later video today because sometimes it is, but we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted. Or if it's already out, feel free to put the link in. Anyone who has the wrench of power. Been busy for over a week now, and I miss losing track of time and just focusing. I know, right? When you have to like compartmentalize everything. It's been a little while since I've just sat down to read and lost track of time willingly. A lot of times I have to be like, okay, so I'm going to read until this point, and then I have to do this menial task. So yeah, that's a really good point. I haven't done that in a while. Joining in while I work sounds great, Tracy. Good luck at work. I hope no one stresses you out too much. Oh, snap. Need to watch Danny's video. Yes, I'm very, very excited for it. Hello, Beatrice. I see that you're at work per usual, but wanted to pop in to support. I appreciate it so much. On my third book for Bucket List-athon, I'm surprised. Oh my gosh, you're doing so well. Meanwhile, I'm doing hard mode and I'm like, I need to start finishing these books. Like we are almost a week in and I haven't finished one, but that's okay. That's all right, friends. It's okay if we're late, if we're taking our time. Hello, Glenda. How are you? Good morning, Jen. Hope you're all well today, working here. You're not alone. Quite a few people are tuning in from work, and we are going to stay on task because I'm determined to do that. Hello, Evie. Oh my gosh. Also, haven't seen you in quite some time. You're on your lunch break now, and we'll be reading Bad Cree by Jessica Johns. This has been a book that's been on my radar for quite some time. A coworker at the library read it, and she thought it was really thought-provoking. It was quite interesting, and she thought that I would appreciate it as well. And you're seeing if you can get any audiobook listening time in. So I hope you can. I hope you can do that. But grief horror is something that's hit or miss for me. I'm not going to lie. Hello, Vanessa. I hope you're doing well. Did I read 2,200 pages by today? Oh my gosh. For some reason, I missed the word by and just today. And I was like, so, I mean, it's still a lot. Oh, but you haven't. Oh no. How far off are you, Vanessa? How close were you? It's not quite a witchy romance, but has those vibes. Okay. That's what I was thinking. It seemed like it was maybe just a bit of a paranormal cozy. We shouldn't believe in my delusional goals. Honestly, it probably still made you read more than you expected. Hello, Sophie. Welcome. I hope you've been well. Can't lie, I haven't been in the mood recently, but finally started Emily Wilde #2. Ooh, and you know what's important, people, the public, that Emily Wilde, the second book, isn't wintry as well. So I think sometimes people were thinking, if they read book 1, then book 2 is going to be wintry as well. But I just saw Bucketeer videos. Danny just posted in the Discord, so I think her video's live. But this one, it's a bit more kind of like spring, summer. It might be fall. I don't know. It's definitely not winter though. And it is fun. I might be in the minority. I liked book 2 slightly better than I liked book 1 for that one, Jamie. So you're gonna have to let me know if you agree once you finish it. I'm mostly decorating now because otherwise won't have time. Ain't that the truth? Oh, okay. So haven't been in the mood recently to read. That makes sense. Hello, No Way Crochet. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Did have a DNF this month. How long does one read a book before DNFing it? I gave Hook 3 chapters. Whoa. Yeah, it depends for me. I can either give a book a long time, like I'll DNF whenever. Like I could be 50 pages from the end. If it does something that I'm just like, no, we're not doing it. That's a bit more rare though. I'm really good about DNFing books within the first 100 pages. There's been, I think the book the most recent DNF I had was a buddy read with Danny and Nell. And I think I was maybe 11% in, like 10% into it. And I was like, I can't do it. I just can't. So DNF when you need to is my advice. So there we are. Hoping to finish your first book of the readathon today. I'll be right behind you. because this is my first book of the readathon as well. So yeah, gonna be fun. Hello, Michael. How are you? Welcome. I am skipping through a few comments, friends, just because I want to make sure that we get to say hello to people before we go into our next sprint. I see this response though. It's a short story. As soon as I said I didn't recognize it, I was thinking, I think I've seen you mention that it is a short story collection. So that actually makes sense. Also, we have Livia here. Hi, Livia. You're not alone. You're not the only one reading Phantasma in the comments. I love that everyone's reading the same books. About to start a new book, just bought from a local author. Oh my gosh. And that sounds really cozy. It sounds like perfect for Thanksgiving reading as well. So I'm here for it. 450 from Paddington. That one, friends, is actually our book club for only Christy in the book club at the Manor. And I'm planning on my reread, probably starting it next week because I'm reading The Hunter right now. Hello, Danny. Speaking of Danny, I was like, she has her video up. I'm so excited to watch it. Welcome, Carpe Diem. I call you Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem. You get it all the time, I'm sure. I think I'm DNFing the memoir I'm reading, going to find something else to read. Listen, DNF if you need to. That's honestly, maybe that's what we should do today, is remember that as soon as you're not having fun, Bucket List-athon, we don't have time. Like, you know what? Move on to the next to-do list. And you can always get back to it if you really don't want to hard DNF it. Hello. Oh my gosh. How are you, Bree? Reading Games God's Play. You may or may not be chatting with Brittany, because I know Brittany was reading that actually yesterday. I don't know if your buddy reading it with her or not. I love you set up everything today. Yeah, I was like, at first I had it over the books and I was like, you know what? No, I don't want it to be over your very pretty like book design. So I kind of shifted it and I was like, the cover can hang out with me today. Those are my thoughts. I think I didn't miss anyone. I'm really hoping I didn't. But also, thanks, Abs, for agreeing with me. I'm glad I'm not the only one because I was like, yeah, I really liked book 2 more than book 1. I had the same like criticisms as well as the same praise, but I think that book 2 was a bit more seamless. But we can get into that in the next sprint. So yes, okay, well, let's get into our first sprint. Start off being productive, and if I ever missed a comment and you really wanted me to respond to it, when we get back, just comment it again so that we can cover it in like the next 15 minutes. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But all right, I will see you guys in an hour. Thanks for spending your Tuesday with me or your early Wednesday. Hello, welcome back. There were quite a few people who joined during that sprint, including Anna. Hello. No worries that you're a little bit late. You really aren't. Currently listening to Iris Kelly Doesn't Date, just over 50% in and loving it. I really do want to try that series. It looks very fun. Once I get back into reading romance, I think that's probably going to be one of the first series I try. Just finished watching Danny's video. Yes, I did too, actually. So as a segue, and I even did like my own personal blind ranking, and it was very fun to see like where I put something versus where Danny put it, and if we ended up both being okay with our picks in the end. I'm not mad. I would have changed a few things, but yeah, it was really fun. And of course, we also got to see the reveal of who won the wild card vote. I'm not going to say who it is, and if you could be respectful in the comments and not mention, that'd be great, because then people can go watch and be surprised and have a really good time. But congratulations to the winner, and also to all of those who put in their competitor videos, because it was really fun to watch and root for everybody pretty much. We also ended up having Tracy join. Jenny's here too. Hello. Ivy's here. So again, no worries. Totally fine that you arrived, a little bit after we started. Was finishing the final Mindfuck book, which is, I know that's also very, very popular. I know I probably should have said Minef. I'm always not sure if I should swear when I'm reading a title. So apologies if I startled anyone. I should be more careful about that. Moving on to finishing one of my 2 rereads, either Hunger Games or City of Bones. I love that you are rereading Ivy. That's awesome. Also, Alicia, hello, joining, about to go pick up my little ones. See, this is the other thing. Little ones could be watching. Like, they're not really watching, but they might be in earshot. So I'll try to be more careful about, not cursing. So again, sorry, friends. As soon as I said that, I was like, I shouldn't have done it. But then I'll be reading Disney and Dolly and Pumpkin Spice Cafe, another really popular seasonal book that I think you can take from spooky season into, November and early December. Hello, Allison. I saw that you arrived and you're fighting with the TV at your boyfriend's place. Oh my gosh, that's so frustrating. You're reading Little Liar, but it is tough when you're in an environment that's you're probably there all the time, but you're just like, this isn't my tech. These aren't my items. So it's not working the way it should. And you don't really know how to fix it. So I hope you figured it out. We also had Courtney join. Hi, Courtney and Christina. Yes, good reminders to hydrate. I have my water here actually, and I am going to take a sip. So I'm going to try not to, do too much ASMR with that, but I'm going to take a drink. Okay, I hope you guys didn't hear me glug because that probably wouldn't have been very enjoyable. Anouk had to leave, going to bed because obviously it's much later than it is here, so totally understandable. It was good to see them. Somehow missed that this started. No worries, Jill. Glad that you're here. Just finished a book. Need to pick up my next book. What will Libby want back first? That's honestly the question I ask myself all the time, is my next book may or may not be the book that is due with Libby the earliest. I do have an audiobook on the go, The Hunter, which I mentioned, and I was able to renew it. So now it's not my earliest due date, but it is the audiobook I'm listening to. So it's always, a tough juggle. But on that note, so I did end up watching Danny's video, and then afterwards I picked up The Queen of Poisons. I ended up getting two and a half. Oh, yeah. I almost finished 3 chapters in this. And just we're plotting along, talking to all the suspects. And of course, they're all very suspicious. So having a good time. Yay, sprints. Yes, Brandy. Hi. Usually work on Tuesdays, really want to read and need to stay focused. Well, we will do our best to help you do that. Greetings. Hello, Rope. I'm sure you are trying to relax, get back into normal day-to-day activities after traveling. For those of you who didn't know, Rope Crewman ended up going to Y'all Fest, the YA literary convention, which honestly, it sounded really fun. And probably, it seemed like it had good weather. I think you went to North Carolina for it. Hello, Jess. Avoiding the computer today. Understandable. Do it, especially if you feel like you've been online for too long this week already or this month. It's good to unplug and kind of stay away for a bit. Listening to Now She Is Witch. Oh my gosh. Okay. Another kind of maybe paranormal, supernatural witchy book. Seeing the emojis that I can't see because StreamYard apparently doesn't register what they are. Ended up reading just a little, but watched BookTube for the rest of the time. Yeah, it seemed like we swapped, Anna. I watched BookTube and then I read, and you did the opposite. Read one chapter, 3 pages of another chapter. Sounds great. 16 pages read. Ooh, went to get lunch. See, I had lunch. I had lunch early, which is why I'm now snacking on some Black Forest gummies. Not sponsored. But hey, if you're Black Forest, if you're in the comments, you want to sponsor me, I would not be against it. Finally catching up on my list of videos. I know. And you know what, Anna? I did see that you commented on my TBR will self-destruct. And I was like, oh, Anna watched my video. I'm glad that I was a part of that list. Got to page 114. Awesome, Kat. Also, Kat, I hope you had a great birthday. I don't know if we ever checked in about that. I hope you had a really lovely birthday. DNF'd the memoir, picked up a KU romance novella to cleanse the palate. That sounds great. And you're 35% through it. I mean, those novellas, they make you feel really accomplished. 31% in entropy, and we'll switch to ADHD in the next sprint. 3.5 pages read in Fourth Wing. Great, Jenny. Don't mind saying who won the wild card vote. I know you don't mind, but some people, I want them to go watch the video. And also, it's a really fun video. Oh, it was Mom. Oh my gosh, I didn't know, Rope Crewman, that you were related to one of my favorite BookTube people. That's good to know in the future. Hello, friends. Hello, Hazelnut. Arrived with 35 minutes left. Oh, perfect. So you got a little bit of reading done. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Now, this is an author I've been meaning to try as well, but I really haven't gotten to him. Hello, Renee. Just finished a kids nonfiction. Oh, cool. Very awesome. It was a Norwegian book. Have been a bit tired. So quick kids books. Honestly, for those who need like a palate cleanser, maybe you're in a bit of a reading slump, or just life is really chaotic or stressful, or, you don't want to have to, extend yourself too much. Kids books, like middle grade, juvenile, those can be a really excellent way of just kind of recentering. So that sounds great to me. Just had to trash some Christmas decorations. No, Louise. A snow globe had broken. Oh my gosh. And that's the worst thing about obviously seasonal items. You put them away and you don't realize if something has happened until the next year. And then you have to deal with the aftermath a year later. I'm so sorry. I hope it wasn't anything like too special or, anything like that. If it was, I'm really sorry to hear about it. Gonna Start Strong, Female Character by Fern Brady. Ooh, awesome. You're really in your nonfiction November era, Renee. I love a good reread. I've gotten into it this year with favorites so I can annotate them. Oh, I know. See, I don't annotate books, but if I were to, it would be like rereading favorites. So then you kind of also know the themes going in that you might want to tab. So that makes sense. Oh, sorry for reading Mermaid Smut. No, it's okay. I mean, it's not you. It's the thing is I've definitely read that title in sprints before, and I'm usually good about just saying like mind F or something. And I don't know why. Just today I've decided to read the curses. I did that with another book that used the A word, the other word for one's caboose, I'll say. And I was like, why am I doing this today? I don't know. Apparently I've decided that this is my debut sprint where I just start to say curse words in public. It still won't open. It worked when I got up, but then boyfriend wanted to watch his animes, stopped working. But oh my gosh, I'm terrible with electronics too. I'm amazed that I've been able to do like sprints for as long as I have. And it's for the most part never been terrible or gone too wonky. So didn't get any reading done, but went through the new releases at my library, put some holds in it. Oh my gosh, very, very exciting. Serviceberry by Robin Wall Kimmerer. Hold on. I didn't know that. I'm going to start that comment, Evie, because I really love Robin Wall Kimmerer. So Braiding Sweetgrass, as I'm sure many of you know, was written by her. And then I think there's one that has the term moss in it. I've been meaning to read that as well. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to look into that. Made myself a hot chocolate, grabbed a protein yogurt. I've got my electrolytes for my POTS with this pressure drop. Gosh, seriously, it's yeah. I'm glad that you are like getting comfy, cozy, having some stuff, and like some good eating as well, good food. Working on editing, got a good chunk done in that sprint. Awesome. That's what I'm going to do next sprint. I'm determined. I've got to do some admin stuff, and then I'm going to be editing my video for Thursday, which is actually going to be my bullet journal for 2025. And I'm very, very excited about it. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Yeah, nice. Gummies, yum. I know, right? I was like, I promise I've had a well-balanced meal. I ate food, and then now I'm having gummies. Your lunch was a little sporadic, included some cookie dough. Honestly, that sounds great though. You gotta balance. You gotta balance the salty, the sweet, and not like deprive yourself of the good things. Your birthday was lovely. I'm so glad. Awesome. Yes, I loved your TBR will destruct video. Yeah, I had a really good time with it, and I was like, I know it looks early, but I want to know what's on the list because if I rewatch this video in December, it will be too late. I will not be able to actually read these books, and at the same time, I wanted to like announce my next list. So it was interesting. I have some books I got to read before December 31st comes around. Hello, Sherry. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. I am really enjoying it. I'm really loving just returning to the characters, returning to Marlowe. It's always fun with a series because you don't have to waste time trying to like get to know these characters. Like I already know Judith, Susie, Bex really well. I haven't gotten too far into the mystery, but I do like that we're playing around with poison. It's very different, obviously, from the last book. So that one was Death Comes to Marlowe, which I'm telling the public. And that one was obviously an impossible crime where, it was someone was locked in the room, a bookcase fell. How did this happen? Whereas this one also seems kind of impossible because this man is drinking coffee at a meeting and then he dies from being poisoned. And you're just like, well, how did this happen? So I do appreciate that Robert Thorogood is bringing his kind of A game as far as like a really great premise and trying to puzzle all of this stuff together. And actually, this is the first cover where so not this cover, but the cover here, I didn't realize that it's been turned into a TV series. I figured it would be eventually, to be honest, because I knew him from television first with Death Comes to Death Comes to Paradise. I have Death Comes to Marlowe in my mind with Death in Paradise. So I wasn't going to be surprised because this felt very kind of cinematic and it could be a TV series, but I'm going to have to check that out next. So yeah, I'm really liking it. Finished 3 stories during that sprint, hoping to finish my first Bucket List-athon book today. I definitely won't be finishing mine today because I'm still so early days. But, in the next few days, I think I can finally prioritize it. Started on Danny's video, working on some Excel things. Very nice. Also, we've got JK here. I hope you're doing well. Greeting everybody. Brittany, you're not the only one reading The Games Gods Play today. Bree was reading it, and I didn't realize if you guys may or may not be buddy reading this. I asked Bree, but I'm sure she's also working today, so she, didn't see that comment. This week, yes, haven't read much nonfiction yet, but the month is not over. Oh, yes, exactly. I have a nonfiction on the go that I do need to get back to. Life Among Savages. I'm buddy reading that with Carly from Bookish Pixie Reads, and we're having a great time, but it's my first, but I don't want it to be my last, like my only nonfiction of the month. So I do need to kind of read it so I can move on and pick up another nonfiction title. That's something I got to keep in mind. Started on Elantris. Great. Holding your attention so far. Going to continue with it. It's such an interesting concept, but the pacing isn't the best. Interesting. Yeah. You know what? Like sometimes there's going to be little criticisms and it'll work out. Most likely going to catch up with One Piece before 2025. Awesome. The snow globe, unfortunately, was an old one that I have had. Oh no! And those things are priceless too. So I'm so sorry that happened. It was one with Diddle in. If you know, I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna have to look it up. But again, I'm so sorry. Hello, QWERTY. Just in time. We're gonna be starting another sprint soon. So yes, will be getting you motivated ASAP. And I'm also just going to pause this for a second, just so I can like double check that we haven't missed anyone in the comments. Love your bullet journal. Thanks. I'm really switching it up this year, friends. Like I have items, I have like props and things. So I think it ended up going well. Another hour down, finished your laundry, started working on a jigsaw. See, that's something I haven't done in a while. I need to get back to jigsaw puzzling. You can't see it because I have myself cropped a little bit, but right here I've got my puzzle table, and I haven't whipped it out in quite some time. Jamie just got back from a walk. Perfect. That's another thing I need to get back into is walking because I've been under the weather. I haven't wanted to push myself, and now I'm like, okay, you got to start moving your body again. It is a great TV show. I cannot agree more. Like it's so good. I recommend it. I think you'll, if you really like Death in Paradise, you will be able to tell immediately that this is written by him. Just because it's got the same type of narrative style and like set up for a crime. Often need a paradise when choosing my TBR. I don't know, but I don't know. What that's for. Oh, is it because you don't you know what? It was Michael who said this, but Michael said that he had like lost his roles and everyone was like, you lost your bread. And it's just that anyway, so I got distracted. I thought that was funny. We aren't buddy reading, but have discussed it now that she started it. Awesome. Is a series on PBS. I'm going to start Poison today. Ooh, very nice. Okay. We've reached the end. It was a bit of a chaotic last couple minutes, but I'm ready for another sprint. This is going to be our second of 3, and then I'm going to have to double check who I'm transferring you guys to. I'm predicting it's going to be Kelsey, but I do want to double check that there's no one hosting Bucket List-athon sprints after me. And yeah, so my camera's going to be off because I will be editing, but I will see you guys in an hour. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Hello, everyone. That startled me. I don't really know. I don't know why that scared me so much. But let me know how you did. Obviously, I did not read this sprint, but I will be reading in the next, which is very exciting. I ended up using that as an admin sprint. As I said, I had to respond to some email, set up some, bio information, and then I did end up editing my video for Thursday, which will be my walkthrough for my bullet journal. I need to do my voiceover, hence, I need to use my mic and everything to make it all professional. But I probably will wait to do that until after sprints are over. So that'll be my next form of business as soon as we wrap these sprints up in about an hour and a half, which is, how does time fly like that? I really don't understand where the time goes. I'm completely honest. Hello, Jean. I know I haven't seen you in quite some time. I'm sorry to hear that YouTube is hiding me. That's not, an ideal situation, but I'm glad that you found me anyway. You found me again. So there we are. Just scheduled my vlog for tomorrow. Good job, Kat. I also know that you were probably going to bed. So if you're still here, good night. It was lovely to have you. Sweet dreams, because it is getting late for you. So yeah, don't worry about staying any longer. Please turn me off. Go to bed. I highly recommend that. And yeah, I'm glad that you're doing well. Okay, Jean, good. And you're currently reading Zodiac Academy, almost on page 800. Only 440 more pages. Oh my gosh. Those books are huge. They really are. It's crazy. And Julie, this is such a cute idea for your husband to give you gifts. I do have the bonfire merch, which I did link here. It should work. Let me know if it doesn't. And basically, there are some that are very readathon focused, like TBR Harvest and the TBR-athon shirts. But then there's the very basic ones that are just for readers, like my TBR scares me, my TBR, solves crimes. And those ones, so the ones that are under the TBR-athon banner but are kind of generic, all of the proceeds go to the American Library Association, at least any profit I would get. Bonfire does take a good amount of the money to create the product, but anything I would get, it goes to the American Library Association. So if you wanted to, show it to him so that he knows that that's a potential thing to buy for you. I also plan on having bookmarks on Etsy, actually, and I promise friends that this was not planned between me and Julie. Like, this is very serendipitous of her asking me. And I do have I have the bookmarks with me, but we're going to keep it under wraps for a little bit longer. And I did make a couple a bit more generic. Like, it does say TBR-athon on one of the sides, but like the main attraction is a bit more generic. So I think that it can appeal to anyone, even if you don't end up participating in TBR-athon. And that one will probably be launched for the general public like the 1st of December, because I'm hoping that that's going to be my announcement day, because it's perfectly a Sunday, by the way. So that's probably when I'm going to premiere. And that's when I'll have the shop open for Etsy if you want to buy those, but also no pressure. If instead you wanted, I'm trying to think of other things that he could get you that would be really fun. Maybe even, a certain subscription service, if you like that, like the idea of like, I know that I've always wanted to try, is it the TBR? I think it's through, I don't remember that. Is it Book Riot who does like orchestrated like TBR, where like some type of coordinator talks to you and then like recommends special books to you? It does seem a bit pricey, like the one where they actually send you the books, but that does seem quite fun as well. And there are quite a few independent bookstores that do something similar, like across the United States, if that's where you're based. So yeah, I've always thought about doing something like that, which would be really fun, just to support a local bookstore as well. But anyways, where were we? I got distracted. Adventures had to go. No worries. Enjoy your time with your family. I'm sure you're gone already. But I still wanted to highlight it on screen. Allison managed to open the TV. Thank goodness. I'm glad that finally worked. Got to chapter 27, and Finley Donovan knocks him dead. This book is feeling too similar to the first I'm just waiting for it to pick up. Ooh, isn't that always, there's a balance, isn't there, Taya? And let me know if it's Taya, by the way. I'm assuming it's Taya, but, similar to like Maya, for instance, or Kaya, sometimes they, have the A Y as an I sound. But that's how it is, like with not necessarily this book, but I do feel similarities as far as the tone. And fortunately, the crime is very different for my books. So I'm really appreciating that. But I know exactly what you mean when you're like, okay, like I know there's supposed to be some similarities because it's a series. However, if it's too similar, I start to think, why am I not just rereading the first book? So I do hope it picks up for you. 40 pages of Hunger Games for your reread. Amazing. Catching up on reviews. Any of you who, follow me or are friends with me on Goodreads, you probably have recently been seeing me like blast you all with like, maybe like 10 to 15 reviews when I am on Goodreads, because I'm slowly trying to pick up and like catch up with everything. And I have a lot to go. So that's why, because I've read so many books, but I haven't been logging them. And now I'm finally logging them on Goodreads. So I do apologize if you guys are like, geez, like, why is my feed only Leandra? Because I should have just been doing it periodically throughout the year, but I decided not to do that. 23 to 27%. Awesome. ADHD is a good nonfiction, but it's rough reading for all the right reasons. Oh, yeah, where you can kind of, it almost feels too accurate, or maybe you feel too seen, or it just, yeah. I felt that way as well, where especially with nonfiction, where I've been like, this is powerful, this is important, but it is hitting hard. Like it is something that you can't get through too quickly. Got the kiddos from school. Amazing. Got a snack. Also amazing. Taking care of yourself. And then reading 30 pages. Tennille, hello. Off work, literally messaging two separate friends about grammar. Oh my gosh, my dream. I love that. Oh no, I'm into it. That is great. You're gonna have to let me know what you guys were actually talking about. Got editing done. Amazing. Did some admin things. Lovely. Also, Danny, you should have an email. You can let me know if you received it. Hello, Lotta. Good evening to you. It's so late. Oh my gosh. I have 150 pages left of Fate Inked in Blood and loving it. Oh, I'm so glad that you're loving your life. I also love that your photo is with you and Christmas trees. That is so fun. I just noticed that. Finished happy medium. Yay. We'll probably head to bed soon, but thank you for the company and motivation. Of course, Moon Shadow. It was great to meet you, and congratulations on finishing a book. That is lovely. And now you can sleep well. 2 chapters of One Piece complete, 2 towers in Breath of the Wild activated. Awesome. Second time playing through the game, and it's even better. Oh, that's awesome. Because then also, this is why I like to replay games as well, because then you can kind of relax and maybe appreciate the artwork in the game, or the small little nuances that you weren't paying attention to before because you had a mission and you just were going from one step to the next. So yeah. Off to walk with your mom sounds good. Also, friends, Danny is getting a haircut later today, so be sure to keep an eye out on her next videos to see if you can tell the difference. I don't think I'm going to get to reading today. Oh no. You were productive though. So you know what? Sometimes these just have to be productivity sprints. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Yes, enjoy your walk, Danny. For the love of all things holy, our orange leader named Dr. Oz as the Medicaid Medicare admin. That's all my partner does. He works in public health as he's getting his PhD. Time to, oh gosh, yeah, disassociate. Yeah, Ivy, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, not fun. Finished my book in the first sprint, missed the chatty bit, but might start 24 seconds from now before bed. That sounds great. And then you know what? As soon as you start getting tired, just decide to put the book aside and go to bed. Got sucked into catching up on booktube videos. Didn't read in this sprint, unfortunately. No worries, Yelena. Probably start a romance or romantasy before. Speaking of friends, I'm sure Yelena, because you've been around the block, you've been hanging out on sprints for a while. I don't know if I've mentioned this on my sprints though, but I am starting a buddy read on Friday with some friends, and it is going to be When the Moon Hatched. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous, but I'm also very excited about it. It's a romantasy. It's a very chonky romantasy, and yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. I have a great group with me, supporting me in this endeavor. We're reading it with Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading, Nell Diamond, Danny Dabbles, and then Rainey's just hanging out in the chat to see all of our thoughts. So it will be very fun. Read 50 pages, really liking the book. Awesome, Renee. I'm glad. Took a break from work to knock out a couple rounds on a crochet project my daughter asked me to make. Aw, that's probably fun. And a really nice way to break up the work, actually, to have a break, change your mind's focus for a little bit. First pronunciation was correct. Okay, great. I'm glad. So I'll go ahead and say, oh, and then for those of you who weren't sure, first pronunciation was correct. Tay like Taylor. And then Taya. Okay, perfect. Because yeah, you can never be certain. And I want to make sure I'm not just, coming from, say, like an American English perspective as well, which can change things. Hello, Gabby. Reading Rewitch tonight. Are you a part of the buddy read that's for Bucket List-athon? Because Danny also started that tonight. Oh, but you accidentally fell asleep for the last 2 hours. So trying to make good on the day. Yes. Well, you know what? You probably needed the sleep. Hello, Megan. I'll probably take a nap first. Speaking of, you know what? We just need to sleep, guys. If this ends up needing to be like your required sleeping time, I'm happy to be that for you, because then at least it tells your brain, okay, we need to recharge. Leandra will look after us virtually. I'm happy to do it. Then I'll be reading Razorblade Tears. Ooh, that's by S.A. Is it S.A. Crosby? I'm going to make sure. Yeah, S.A. Oh no, S.A. Cosby. Got it. Okay. See that? I've been meaning to read that author, but I just don't know what to start with. All the Sinners Bleed also looks good. I think that might be his most recent book, to be honest. But this one I remember got really popular as well when it came out. Ended up reading almost 100 pages of Dark Matter, then took a little nap. Friends, we need naps. Please, please, please nap if you want to nap, because that is really great. I don't feel comfortable napping because I feel like I need to be in charge of everything that's going on. But I 100% support you guys napping. Even when the sprint ended. Oh gosh. That's really funny. We were talking about how unfortunate that a large portion of students can't identify a noun in a sentence. You know what? So I've taken a break from teaching for a little bit, but I was teaching, pretty much like writing 101 for freshmen, and they did not understand why it was important. And I was like, do you guys understand how, to structure a sentence, what a semicolon is for, what a colon is for, comma splicing? And friends, I promise we will move on from this. I'm not going to suddenly teach you guys a lesson, but it is kind of crazy. And I agree. I think that and passive voice, don't get me started. Oh my gosh. I'm someone who kept telling my students, I'm like, hey, you say I think blah blah, cut that out. It's not that you think this is like, be confident. You did the research. You should, speak with authority. But I also think that unfortunately with like autocorrect and Microsoft Word and those programs can be really great, and they can save time when you're just typing like a mad person. But unfortunately, if you're relying on that, you don't know why something is correct. It's very interesting. How many of the group will make it to the end of the buddy read? That's the question, right? Do you guys have faith in me? Do you think I'll survive? Or like, should we put bets in the comments? Should I start a poll? Maybe I'll do that in the first sprint. As soon as this turns off, I'll go over and I'll make a poll and see if you guys think I'll actually finish when the moon hatches. I don't know. I'm determined. I have the audiobook, so keep that in mind. And the ebook is available on Hoopla. I read a chapter, got some dessert. That sounds great, Sammy. Kind of scared for you. Excited. See, well, we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to go in as open as I can. Reading slowly, but at least I'm reading. I need 2 hours left for my book, but at the speed I am, you know what? Take your time. That's okay. That's all right. Not part of the buddy read. I'm all thawed out. Listen, readathons take a lot out of us for sure. Razorblade Tears is amazing. See? Pretty brutal. But are you enjoying it? Sometimes it's hard to say when you're enjoying like brutality, but like the descriptions of it, like appreciating why it's written in the way it is. Hadn't learned what a semicolon was for until I'm telling you, quit. And that's not the student's fault. I definitely don't blame my students who don't know what that is. But as soon as I start showing they're like, ah, okay, so this is, I'm like, yeah, like let's baseline. This might be review for some of you, but we all need to be at the same page. And unfortunately, if your schools either failed you or, weren't able to teach you in the way that helped you, that's what I'm here for. So it's kind of getting over that hurdle. But anywho, oh my gosh, wait, hold on. Louise have gone into bed and I'm going to read a bit before going to sleep. Oh, congratulations on finishing your audiobook and I hope you sleep well, Louise. Perfect timing. I'm glad I saw this comment before we headed off into our next sprint. But so what I'm going to do is we're going to go for another hour and then we'll have a very quick chatty bit. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to redirect you guys to Kelsey because I think that she's scheduled for today. So I'll get that set up. And while I do, I'm going to put up a poll to see if you guys think I'm actually going to finish When the Moon Hatched because I think that would be very funny. So yeah, I'm going to put this up for now and I'll change it if it doesn't end up being Kelsey, but I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to switch it to. So, okay. Happy sprinting. Thanks for hanging out with me and we'll see you when we get back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back from that final sprint. The polls were closed, and it says that 50% of the voters think that I will finish When the Moon Hatched, and I'm going to enjoy it. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. Second place went to no, I'm going to be DNFing it. So pretty polarizing as far as what may or may not happen. I'll keep you guys up to date. Let me see if I can just get through a few of the comments to acknowledge, how you all did. I ended up, actually, maybe I should tell you how I did. I reached page 68, 11 chapters in. So we're into it. We're getting into the nitty gritty of the investigation, and it's just good fun. It's really nice to be back with these ladies and have them also doing some slice of life elements where they're, going through their own individual conflicts, and then they're talking to each other about it as they try to catch a killer. And so it's really lovely to see them believe in themselves and realize that they can kind of forge their own happiness with what they're doing. Anywho, and we also did lose quite a few people, to be expected. Our Europeans all had to go to bed, or at least they should be in bed, if they aren't already. Morticia joined us, reading for Nonfiction November. So am I, but this is fiction. So I do have a nonfiction on the go at the moment. Just got home in time to say bye after running errands and picking up dinner. Woohoo! Well, enjoy dinner. That sounds delicious. Got to 58% in Rewitched, having a nice, cozy time so far, but it's not a perfect book. And you know what? Not all books have to be perfect. Honestly, we can appreciate a consistent 4-star. Give me that every day. That sounds great. Once in a while, getting a 5, if that would be the perfect system. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it, though. There was mostly chores for me. Sounds good. Listen to some of A Curious Beginning. Ooh. As you know, Tennille, that is a part of the poll for what I could potentially be reading, as far as my TBR for December. We'll see if it ends up winning. I think, I don't know if it's winning or not. There might be another one. We're going to have to see what wins. Next sprint, you'll read You Promise. No worries, Courtney. And you know what? Who's going to keep you focused? Kelsey, because Kelsey is doing Winter-athon sprints. And I think that's a perfect transition. Bucket List-athon to Winter-athon. So we can, spread the love and have a good time with all types of readathons. 50 pages of Hunger Games. Great, Ivy. Also, Witchy, hello. Sounds good that you're here. Now, this is the last sprint, but as you know, because you've been here before, we're transitioning over to Kelsey, so you'll be able to sprint more. But also, when it comes to Battle of the Booktubers, Witchy was also a contestant. So if you guys want to check that out, you can go to Danny's channel, which I did update. I updated the description. You should be able to find Danny's channel and then see the playlists. Lotta was also in round 1 with me for Battle of the Booktuber. It's really fun to see a bunch of other contestants in the comments. It always warms my heart. And you've got 100 pages left. Yay! I'm so glad that you're having a great time. Making the final touches on my second nonsensical Naughty November vlog. Should be out later today. Sounds great. Got dinner for me and the kiddos. Cleaned up my desk. Finished my graphic novel. Perfect. And yeah, of course, thanks everyone who's been here, whether you just arrived and you're going to be doing, the transportation train, or you've been here all day. I do appreciate it. Mostly spent that sprint taking care of a blunder, which frankly is upsetting me. Oh no, something very important was most likely lost in Charleston Airport. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'll be thinking of you, rope crewman. Whatever ends up being, whatever you lost, either I hope that it's found, even if there is some struggle to get it back, or as you said, taking care of replacing it. So I hope it ends up being a smooth process. Have book 2 from the Veronica Speedball series on my oh my gosh, on your library right now. Ivy, this is going to be my first. Again, we're going to see if it wins because the Manor, my Patreon is voting, because there's 2 other options. But yeah, well, we'll see if I end up reading it in December. You'll have to keep a lookout for it. Almost done with Dark Matter. I'll be done with it ahead of schedule. Very nice. We love that, since I was supposed to finish it this Thursday. Oh my gosh. And then you can kind of continue on, maybe pick up another read earlier than you planned. getting me to focus somewhat in reading. You're welcome, Sammy. Yeah, thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate it. It's always really nice to see how you guys are progressing as well, because it keeps me keeps me motivated. Probably good that there's only 3 more minutes in this stream because I cannot talk anymore. But yeah, like for instance, another 15%. It's really nice to see that we're all like being as productive as we can. And if we're not, that's okay. We're here for the company. But on that note, I will be seeing you guys around. I'll send you off a couple minutes early so that maybe you can have a restroom break, get some water, do whatever you need to do before Kelsey starts her sprints. But yeah, thanks everyone for being here, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday, if not earlier. Bye.